Coming up on Channel 8 Eyewitness News Live at noon, a massive earthquake has killed thousands in China. Rescue crews are digging through debris trying to save hundreds of students trapped under rubble.
Dozens of people who live in a mobile home park here in the valley are being forced out of their homes after a weekend fire. Some may never be able to come back.
And the LVCVA is kicking off Tourism Week, trying to attract more visitors to our valley.
This is Channel 8 Eyewitness News at noon in high definition.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Nearly 9,000 people are dead in China after a massive earthquake hit the Sichuan province.
The 7.8 magnitude quake was felt as far away as Thailand, Vietnam, and Pakistan. Rescue teams are trying to get to hundreds of people, many of them children who were buried under the debris. Reporter Charlie D'Agata has the very latest.
The massive earthquake practically leveled an entire county in central China. Officials say 80% of the buildings in the remote Sichuan province have been destroyed. At this point, they can only estimate the death toll, but it appears to be in the thousands and still rising. At least 10,000 more have been injured. The 7.8 magnitude quake struck at midday while buildings were still packed with people. Numerous schools crumbled. Rescuers are trying to dig out about 900 students buried alive in their middle school. Tremors were felt in cities hundreds of miles away. Witnesses say office towers in Shanghai and Beijing swayed during the quake. People ran into the streets, some screaming in fear. But there is no major damage in the capital city, where the Summer Olympics will be held in just 3 months. Close to the epicenter, telephone and power lines are down, making it difficult to receive updates on the extent of the damage and casualties. But several high-ranking Chinese officials are headed to the area to oversee rescue and cleanup operations. And the worst may not be over. There could be aftershocks, and with rain in the forecast, landslides are possible. Charlie D'Agata, CBS News, London.
Meantime, the U.S. delivered its first shipment of supplies to Myanmar today. That's the country formerly known as Burma. The UN is criticizing the ruling military leaders there for not moving quickly enough to help the 2 million victims of a massive cyclone, which hit more than a week ago. The storm has killed at least 32,000 people. The UN says that number could climb well above 100,000. International relief efforts are being hampered by the country's ruling military. They want full control over the relief operations.
Nearly 24 people are dead after a series of deadly tornadoes hit Oklahoma, Missouri, and Georgia. And this was the damage in Darien, Georgia, on the east coast, about 35 miles north of the Florida border. Residents there and in a number of other communities are trying to pick up the pieces today. 22 people were killed in Oklahoma and Missouri by the tornadoes. President Bush is working with the governors of the affected states to provide federal relief for the victims. Dozens of Northeast Valley residents are being forced out of their homes by police and inspectors, and it's going on right now. Fire tore through the College Inn mobile home community on Saturday afternoon. Now police are telling residents they need to get out. Channel 8 Eyewitness News reporter Calvert Collins joins us live from near Lake Mead in Nellis with the story. Calvert.
Well, Gary, many of the people have lived here for years and never thought of their own homes as dangerous. Now they say the landlord and property manager have let this once happy community fall into disrepair. Dozens of these homes are in shambles, sewage flowing through backyards, windows broken, holes in walls. Residents blame the property manager for not answering their requests for repair. So Metro, the health department, and housing inspectors stepped in last Thursday to survey the living conditions and tell residents to move out if needed. Saturday's fire didn't make the situation any better. It started in Unit 60 and spread to 2 other homes, making all 3 uninhabitable and knocking out power to the whole community. Some residents told me they are just glad to be moving out.
This place it's no good. It's just, I mean, look at it. It's no good.
One housing inspector told Amber Arano the whole park will be closing in 30 days. So far, Metro has gone through 30 of the 79 units. 14 of those have been found uninhabitable, forcing the residents to move out. Now, officers from the Northeast told me they've been keeping their eye on this community for the past several months, looking for any possible slumlords. But they say the owner is negligent and has forfeited the property, and now it's in the hands of the court. Gary?
So what options do these people have? Any?
Well, yes, Metro has arranged for the Salvation Army, Catholic Charities, and the Red Cross to come in and provide these people at least temporary housing in the meantime. Most likely, many of them will have to be spending a few nights in a shelter while they can get back on their feet and arrange for some more permanent housing. But in the meantime, they are allowed to go in and get their belongings if their homes were considered uninhabitable. Gary?
I bet it's going to be tough for some of them to find permanent places to live now that that's closed, too. Calvert, thank you.
The Channel 8i team has learned that the former head of the U.S. Printing Office says he is not going to resign from a Nevada budget-cutting commission and that he has done nothing wrong. Bruce James, a one-time candidate for U.S. Senate who recently stepped down from his job as the head of the government printing office, says the allegations now leveled at him by a former state Republican chairman, John Mason, are a, quote, complete fabrication. As Eyewitness News first reported Friday night, John Mason wrote to Governor Jim Gibbons demanding that Bruce James resign from the state's SAGE Commission because of an alleged incident 5 years ago in Washington. Mason alleges that James made inappropriate advances toward Mason's daughter, who was a college student at the time. Since James was appointed to his job by President Bush, the White House also was made aware of the allegation. Also told Nevada political leaders, including Jim Gibbons, who last week appointed James to head the SAGE Commission. The governor says he has no intention of asking James to resign. James reiterates that he did nothing wrong and he is not going to resign. John Mason hinted he will make a public statement about these allegations if the governor does not remove him. Mason has so far declined to comment. We will have further details on this developing story tonight on Eyewitness News at 5. The two teenagers charged in a drive-by shooting which killed a Palo Verde High School student are due in court today. They're expected to enter their pleas. 16-year-old Gerald Davison and 18-year-old Ezekiel Williams face murder charges for the death of 15-year-old Chris Privet. A judge determined there is enough evidence for them to go to trial. Investigators say that Davison was the gunman and Williams was the driver in the fatal shooting in February. Both have gang enhancements added to these charges, which means if convicted, they could get longer prison sentences.
Convention Authority is launching a National Tourism Week effort today to try to draw more people to the valley. For the first time this year, visitor numbers are down. They were off 1% in March. The number of conventions being held here is also down 16% for the year. Casino revenues were also down by 2%. LVCVA's new ad campaign is trying to draw summer vacationers to Las Vegas to try to turn those numbers around.
We'll find a way to continue to brand Las Vegas that drives visitation. We had record visitation for 4 years. Certainly we think that by the end of the decade we'll reach 43 million visitors.
National Tourism Week that campaign has 3 parts to it. The first one starts on the way to town. It's called the Vegas Loves Visitors program. Showgirls greet visitors at McCarran with gift certificates to hotels, shows, and restaurants. Second part is for casino workers, thanking them for their continued hospitality to visitors. And the last part is for locals who can win prizes at casinos by tuning into different radio stations. So check it all out.
Barack Obama is now focusing on the general election after taking the lead in superdelegates over the weekend. Straight ahead, what Hillary Clinton's advisors are saying about calls for her to just get out of the race.
Wildfire burning in Florida right now has forced hundreds of people to evacuate, and the weather isn't helping the fight to contain the flames.
And President Bush's daughter, Jenna, is now a married woman. We'll show you pictures from her wedding over the weekend at the Bush Ranch in Texas.
We've got very strange skies around the Las Vegas Valley today. Low clouds, haze, dust. A lot of wind out there. As we look out from our stratosphere, visibility definitely reduced today. Winds are churning, and they're turning out of the northwest now as a cold front bears down on us. Some neighborhoods sustaining 15 to 20, sometimes 25-mile-an-hour winds. They're really up and down at the noon hour. We'll find out what the rest of our Monday holds in store and look ahead to a big warm-up for your weekend in neighborhood weather.
You're watching Channel 8 Eyewitness News at noon with Gary Waddell and Charlotte Evans. The first local news in HD.
Spanish closed captioning of Eyewitness News is brought to you by North Vista Hospital, recipient of the Health Grades Bariatric Surgery of Excellence Award and the Maternity Care Excellence Award.
Are you looking for that special diamond ring? Do you want to save a ton of money for that diamond ring? Bill here with Red Rock Jewelers, inviting you to come down and look at our wide selection of diamond jewelry. We carry a great selection of gold, diamonds, Rolexes, and much more. Red Rock Jewelers can help you save up to half off the retail price. Half off. That is our price guarantee. Save time, save money, guaranteed. Like always, we sell, and trade. Come visit us today at Red Rock Jewelers or call us now at 880-0600.
My old phone plan had me limited, waiting till 9 to make calls, paying for every text, spending way too much. Then I wised up and got Cricket. Now I'm unlimited, for real. I can talk and text with anyone in the U.S. and go online anytime I want, all for less than half of what I used to pay.
Call 1-800-718-3591 now. Why spend up to $99 a month with the other guys when Cricket gives you unlimited talk, text, pics, mobile web, and more for just $45 a month? Go to mycricketlv.com and compare. Real Unlimited can save you over $600 a year with no contracts, no overages, no credit checks. Go to mycricketlv.com for everyday low prices on great phones starting at only $49.99. Plus, call 1-800-718-3591 right now and we'll throw in your first month of service free without signing a contract.
For a guy like me, being unlimited just makes sense.
Call, click, or come into a Cricket store today. Call 1-800-718-3591 right now. Cricket Wireless. Real Unlimited, unreal savings.
Senator Hillary Clinton is fighting to stay in the race for the White House as more superdelegates throw their support behind Senator Barack Obama. Hillary Clinton is projected to win tomorrow's primary in West Virginia, but even a big win there will not be enough to help her catch up to Obama's lead in the popular vote and the pledged delegates. He's also ahead in the superdelegate count. At least 10 who had supported Clinton have now switched sides. Clinton will meet with her staff and supporters after tomorrow's primary to determine whether to go forward with her campaign. Obama has not at this point claimed victory, but he is already focusing on the general election. Many pundits are suggesting that Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton share the Democratic ticket in the fall in an effort to unify the party. Can the two candidates and their political philosophies coexist? Clinton campaign operative Rory Reid and Obama campaign member Billy Vasiliadis talked about this possibility today on Face to Face with John Ralston. You can watch that on Las Vegas 1, cable channels 1 and 19. Metro officers are once again stepping up patrol, looking for teenage drivers who are not buckled up. They've been out in force for the last 3 days, taking a no-tolerance approach to violators. On Friday, 61 drivers got tickets for not wearing a seatbelt, and 2 of them went to teenagers. 74 drivers got tickets for speeding, 9 of them were teenagers, and 33 drivers were cited for no insurance. 1 of them was a teenager. Today, Metro is expected to conduct checkpoints in the northeast end of our valley.
Well, the dropout rate here in Clark County is going back up for the 2006-2007 school year. 6% of overall students in the district dropped out of school. That's up from 5.6% during the previous school year. Remember that big sinkhole we showed you in Texas last week? Well, now one is threatening homes in Maryland.
The very latest on the new sinkhole and what people think caused this. When Eyewitness News at noon continues, we'll be right back.
It's time for the Livin' and Givin' Green Giveaway. Brought to you by Nevada Power, Easy Water, and Channel 8 Eyewitness News. Call right now. The 88th caller gets a green prize pack with a gas card, dinner for 2, oil change, and a bus pass. And qualifies for a shot at a grand prize and $1,000.
Monday on Face to Face, should she stay or should she go now? Pressure is building on Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton to drop out of the race. If she goes, there could be trouble. If she stays, it could be double. We'll ask Barack Obama's campaign man in Nevada, Billy Vasiliadis, and a Clinton representative here too, about that and much more Monday on Face to Face.
At Amica, we've been in the car insurance business for over 100 years. And in that time, we've learned something very important.
I've got a 4-door
convertible minivan with a side impact moonroof.
alarm system.
Everyone is different. But there is one thing that people who call Amica have in common. I want to be fully,
totally,
completely covered. Amica customers understand how important choosing the right coverage is. That's why when you call, we'll take the time to understand your needs and then make sure you understand all your options. Like the right amount of property damage liability coverage and uninsured motorist protection. This can save you a lot of money in aggravation if you have an accident. So call Amica today. It's the difference between being covered
And being really,
Absolutely.
sleep through the night
Covered.
Call now. You could save hundreds on your new policy. And when you call, we'll take the time to make sure you understand your options and get the right coverage.
That's how I like to be covered.
That is how I like to be treated.
Amica. It's not just how you're covered, it's how you're treated.
500 people have been evacuated because of the biggest wildfire burning in Florida. This one is near the East Coast, just south of Melbourne. The fire has grown to 2,100 acres. It's burned 2 homes so far. Investigators believe an arsonist is responsible for this blaze. Several other fires are burning in the state, and high winds, dry conditions, and high temperatures are expected to fuel those flames today. Sinkhole in Maryland has forced 3 families out of their homes. Camp Springs Fire Department says the sinkhole is on the verge of swallowing these 3 homes. It's at least 20 feet wide and 10 feet deep so far. Officials believe the sinkhole was caused by heavy rain in that area. No injuries have been reported.
President Bush's daughter Jenna tied the knot over the weekend with her longtime boyfriend Henry Hager.
The wedding was spectacular. It's all we could have hoped for.
Her wedding was held Saturday night at the family ranch in Crawford, Texas. The Bush family released these wedding photos from the event, which was described by many as relaxed and beautiful. Jenna chose to have her wedding in the heart of Texas, where she grew up, instead of having a more lavish wedding at the White House. It'll cost you more to send a letter today. A first-class stamp now costs 42 cents, up a penny from yesterday. The increase is part of an expected annual price adjustment by the Postal Service. Rates will be readjusted every May. A new law regulating the post office allows the agency to raise its rates so long as the hikes do not exceed the rate of inflation. And there's a new stamp you might want to get your hands on tomorrow. The Postal Service will release a stamp honoring Frank Sinatra, who died 10 years ago. It'll only be offered in Las Vegas and New York tomorrow. But on Wednesday, it'll be available nationwide. The Sinatra family is going to dedicate the stamp tomorrow right in front of Bellagio. And certain marquees across our valley will feature synchronized tributes to the Las Vegas legend Frank Sinatra.
A young girl who is battling cancer had her wish come true. She got to become a mermaid for a day, thanks to a local hotel casino. We'll have her story when we come back.
But first, here's a live look outside at the Las Vegas Valley. Sherry has your neighborhood forecast for this Monday next.
Let the good times flow.
Let the good times flow. Good times flow with all new luxury guest rooms. It's Lux Living, the new resort experience at the Aquarius. Book a stay today from $29.99 a night. Call 800-662-LUCK and mention code GETAWAY. 800-662-LUCK.
Let the good times flow.
Would you like to double, triple, or even quadruple your income and eliminate your credit card debt?
I make $5,000 a month in residual income.
Income is at a 6-figure income. I'll be making over $8,000 a month this month.
Our first month we made over $3,000 right out of the gate.
Thousands of people are getting started by requesting a free DVD that shows them the way to financial freedom. Like Trina, a soccer mom who started her home-based business part-time and with the help of a mentor made $30,000 the first year and $130,000 the next. Or Brandy, who has now become financially secure and is living the American dream.
The free DVD really opened my eyes.
We made over $18,000 last month.
And there's no experience necessary. Our DVD shows how a mentor works with you to assure your success.
Go to 11betterlifeplease.com and get started today and respond now while this is still a free service. Go to 11betterlifeplease.com. That's 11betterlifeplease.com. 11betterlifeplease.com.
Retailers don't want you to see the information about to be disclosed.
Hi, I'm Tony Galata. This is my wife, Carrie Galata. This is our house, my wife's dream house. And we furnish most everything in this house with products from Direct Buy. We purchased the breakfast table and chairs. We looked at that table at some other places.
They ran around $3,500 and we picked it up for around $1,500.
If you're building, remodeling, or simply redecorating a room, there's now a way to buy virtually everything you need at prices you never imagined possible.
We've saved, I think, well over $20,000.
Just on our kitchen alone, we saved almost $10,000.
It adds up to about a $30,000 to $40,000 savings overall.
Call the number on your screen now to receive your free insider's guide to buying direct. Plus, you'll also receive a free visitor's pass for an exclusive tour of your local Direct Buy showroom. Call right now to get started buying the Direct Buy way. Stop paying retail and become part of Direct Buy, the private members-only showroom and design center. Don't wait another minute. Pick up the phone and call now.
News 1 at 9 with Jeff Gillen, the Valley's only 9 p.m. newscast. Now, Channel 8 Neighborhood Weather with Sherry Swins.
Boy, it is just a weird looking day outside. Amazing. A lot of people are asking me, do we have smoke in the air? Well, there are no big fires that are burning that would be bringing in this amount of smoke. So either in California, Arizona, our area at all. But it's just a combination of some low clouds that pushed in with a front, haze that we've had over the last couple of days actually, and then some extra dust being kicked up by the winds out there. Let's look at temperatures. The clouds definitely keeping a little bit of a lid on temperatures. A lot of mid to upper 70s. We knew we'd hold back a little bit. On Mother's Day, we were into the 90s in a lot of neighborhoods with all that sunshine. Today, we'll be back off maybe as much as 10 degrees in many neighborhoods. And the wind gusts have been up over 30 miles an hour in quite a few neighborhoods. Some sustained winds definitely stronger than others. Fort Apache near Ann Road, northwest winds. We've had a cold front bearing down on us, and you can really tell where the winds have switched out of the northwest, mainly over the North Valley neighborhoods. Out west, Charleston, Wallapai, also getting a northerly breeze. But again, the winds are really erratic. They're up and then they back off, up and back off. They're still out of the south in Laughlin where the front has not passed yet. And look how warm the temperature's there, 91 degrees. Pahrump seems pretty calm at 73. Boulder City's near 80, same for Searchlight. And we're still feeling the winds out there, especially up into Lincoln County. Alamo's blowing around. The mountains only at 47, Overton in the 70s. And again, we're getting some stronger winds up into Lincoln County, it seems like. But check out Barstow Daggett, sustained winds at 25 miles an hour where they have wind advisories today, and they've had gusts to near 40 there, 73 degrees. As you might guess, with the extra wind, we have moderate air quality for dust. Unfortunately, not the best day to be outside if you have respiratory illnesses. What's kicking all this up is a low pressure system with a cold front that's moving into the Great Basin. You can see all the clouds associated with it. There may be enough dynamics along with this low pressure and this cold front to kick off a few thunderstorms later today. Chances are really small, but they're out there. We're going to keep them in the forecast at least through the evening hours. Fortunately, the deep south, where they had all those deadly twisters over the weekend, is pretty calm today. But man, they've been having a big soaker on the northeast coast around the Washington, D.C. area. Lots of roads closed this morning and still some flash flood watches and warnings back there. Cool 50s across the Intermountain West behind that front. We're in the upper 70s. Phoenix still pushing close to 90. And you can see in general just kind of cooler than normal around most of the country, with a cooler air over half of where it should be, really. Southern tier of the U.S. even below normal. We'll look for about 84, gusty winds, that cloudy haze, and again, a very slight chance of a thunderstorm. I think it'll be more over into the east side of Clark County, over to Utah and Arizona. Lincoln County stands a good chance of a thunderstorm. And cooler tomorrow behind this system. We'll look for low 80s tomorrow. Then get ready. Check out the weekend. Mid to upper 90s.
Wow.
There will be some areas, especially down to Laughlin, out to Death Valley, maybe the lake, that hit 100 degrees by Sunday.
Wow.
We're talking some pretty intense heat really early in the game.
Yeah. Feeling like summer.
Yeah, test those air conditioners. I'd make sure they're working. You're going to need them by the weekend. Yeah, good advice, Charlotte.
Thanks, Sherry.
You're welcome.
It was a dream come true for a local 9-year-old girl who's battling cancer. Ashley became a real-life mermaid over the weekend at the Silverton Casino Lodge's giant aquarium. This was thanks to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Now, Ashley cannot walk because of the illness she has, but she was able to swim alongside other mermaid performers in the aquarium. She even showed off some underwater tricks. The Make-A-Wish Foundation plans to send her and her family to SeaWorld in a couple of weeks.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Well, there are a number of new additions at the San Francisco Zoo.
We'll show you some of these new babies and fill you in on what they did for their Mother's Day when we come back.
It's time for the Livin' and Givin' Green Giveaway, brought to you by Nevada Power, Easy Water, and Channel 8 Eyewitness News. Call right now. The 88th caller gets a green prize pack with a gas card, dinner for two, oil change, and a bus pass, and qualifies for a shot at a grand prize and $1,000. If you're not watching Channel 8 in the morning, you're missing
the stories and the people. Everything that happens overnight in a city that never sleeps.
A brighter way to start your day.
Whether you're getting your kids off to school,
which can be a little bit of a chore at my house.
5 kids.
Or just trying to stay ahead of the weather.
Join us weekdays for Eyewitness News This Morning. It's not just news.
It's our news.
It's a brand new day in the Valley.
Have you heard about the benefits of a reverse mortgage? If you're a homeowner, 62 years or older, and would like to supplement your monthly income, a reverse mortgage could be the key to living comfortably in retirement. U.S. government-insured reverse mortgages allow seniors to convert the equity in their home into cash without having to move or make monthly loan payments. We offer a free information kit and video explaining everything you need to know about a reverse mortgage.
Call 800-333-1128.
Don't get eaten alive by credit card debt. If you have at least $5,000 to $50,000 or more in debt, stop the financial bleeding. Call Debt Group now. Debt Group's national network of attorneys works for you and negotiates your debt down to a fraction of what you owe. Eliminate your credit card bills, medical bills, and reduce them all into one affordable monthly payment. Call Debt Group now for a free debt reduction consultation. Call 800-516-2092. That's 800-516-2092.
There's a place where the show never ends, where big names open for no names, where a legend shares a stage with a kid from the village, and every song is dedicated to you. Now, the #1 site for independent music has the most incredible music download offer. Go to 64eMusic and get 25 free iPod-compatible downloads just for trying eMusic. eMusic offers a diverse catalog of over 3 million songs from over 20,000 record labels around the world. And as an eMusic member, you'll also get eMusic's free daily download. That's 365 additional free downloads each year. And as an added bonus, when you try eMusic in the next 10 minutes, you'll get 10 extra downloads free. So don't wait another minute to try eMusic and get 35 iPod-compatible downloads. And it's yours, free. eMusic, the #1 site for independent music.
Coming up on later editions of Eyewitness News, Las Vegas for sale. Could corporate sponsorship be the way to make money for the city? We'll check. We'll investigate.
I mean, my dad's getting punished for something that I did when I was 16.
Daughter fails to get her high school equivalency diploma. Now her father is going to jail. And an unusual catch at a baseball game. We'll have those stories and more coming up on Eyewitness News starting at 4 o'clock.
It's blowing so hard.
A teenager in Utah did the right thing when he found a bag filled with cash. Jared Gray was headed to work when he found, get this, $108,000 cash in a deposit bag. The 17-year-old said he never thought about keeping the money, not even for a minute. He called his uncle, who turned the money over to police. It turns out the cash was from a register at Southern Utah University. There's no word on whether he received any reward for his good deed.
An animal mother at the San Francisco Zoo got a break yesterday for Mother's Day. Barbro, 2-month-old giraffe, got the royal treatment from zookeepers who fed her bottle after bottle of formula. Barbro's mother got some time to herself, which she spent munching acacia leaves. The Sumatran tiger cub also made a Mother's Day appearance for visitors. The 9-week-old cub has 2 other siblings who are apparently a little camera shy. They opted to stay in their hiding spots. But there she is, the 9-year-old cub.
Oh, spring is in the air. The little ones are out.
We'll have lots of those over the next month or 2.
Oh, yeah.
That's it for Eyewitness News at noon. Hope you'll join us for all the very latest news and weather starting at 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Have a great day. We'll see you later.